Good afternoon, folks. Um, it's the beginning of my weekend, so I'm kind of resting. Um, it's come to my attention, and I should talk about this. There's a lot of conservatives that don't like Trump, and that's something that I find quite interesting. I should talk about it more because I'm a person that believes, you should be fair in your retelling. Let the facts fall where they may. I'm that kind of person. You can put in your opinion, but do so. I was reading about this guy. He's a Republican. He's talking about how even though the left, he doesn't agree with the left on many things, he still thinks it'd be better. It'd be better to have a Democrat in there, have a rule of law again, rather than to continue down this path of destruction that Trump has set us on. And he that was his caveat. And he made that statement kind of in a lackadaisical manner that, oh, well, they're the same anyway. This is a white man. He's a conservative. And like the people on MSNBC, I'm beginning to respect anybody that speaks out against Trump and the like, Candace Owens, Jordan Peterson, people like that. I'm beginning to say that if you're willing to stand up for integrity and tell the truth, then I respect you. Because we're at war. And we had a guy on Fox News come out and say, all I do is vote and buy guns. What's it telling you? That's telling you that you're dealing with terrorists. You're dealing with people who are effectively saying, fuck the rule of law, fuck all pretense of the rule of law. If we don't get Trump, if we don't get more of what we've had over the last 3 years, we'll use violence. I'm gonna start killing people. I'm just gonna start killing people and let the bodies fall where they may. That's what he said. And we'll say that's his opinion, that's his free speech. He said it on TV. I don't mean to keep repeating it, but he said it on TV, which is, like I said with Trump and all of his lackeys and all these kind of people, is they give us sort of legitimacy to this idea of it's our country, these black people need to be put under control, these Mexicans, these, all these people, we need to keep them in check because it's our country. We can call police on them, we can give them hell. It all meshes and it all correlates. I'm not saying everybody out here wearing a Trump shirt or a Trump hat or voted for Trump and says they vote again for him is a mass shooter or would want to start setting off bombs. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that everybody who feels like that would ever do that, go out and start shooting. But what I will say is those are the folks calling police on black people. Those are the folks out here trying to give you a hard time. Those are those people. Overwhelmingly, those are those kind of people. And you need to be very careful with them. Because the idea, one thing that interests me about conservatism is how they really overlook history. How the founding fathers, a lot of them weren't Christians. They had a lot of different people who signed the Constitution. The idea they had about justice and that just the basis of American jurisprudence that if a person can't be proven they did it, you gotta let them go. Rather be 5 men go free than one innocent man go to prison. 5 innocent, 5 guilty versus 1 innocent. My fault, excuse me. I think it's more than that, actually. Conservatives, they overlook all that. They overlook these basic premises that we know were written into their rule of law. Getting off subject. I respect that man for that. And there's a guy that I follow. He's a conservative, I think. And he talked about how, if these people on the border weren't white, you wouldn't be doing this. You wouldn't be putting them in cages and things like that. And I respect him for that too. Even though he's clearly a conservative, I respect him for that too. So I will say that I'm turning the wheel a little bit here. I'm turning the wheel a little bit. The wheel is turning. That I recognize, because I recognize we're at war. We're at war. There's no other way to put it. We are at war right now. We're at war with people who are clearly showing you that if we don't get our way, we're going to resort to violence. We are at war. I don't know any other way to put it than that. We are clearly at war. Clearly at war. So, but going back to the first gentleman's comment about voting for a liberal, he doesn't agree with statism at all, and I respect that. I felt the same way at one time. Doesn't agree with state, and I guess it's because he's a white man and he's got his life going well, and I'm a black man that's trying to get my life going well, and I'm hitting ditches and I'm hitting bumps and I'm hitting holes, and so I recognize that doesn't work unless you've already got it all. Libertarianism doesn't work for the average person. Even people who aren't doing bad things, it doesn't work. It just doesn't. But let's understand something. When you talk about statism and Trump and these people that are running as open socialists like Bernie Sanders, I have not seen any Democrats threatening other foreign leaders. I have not seen any Democrats come out here and make comments to disrespect other foreign leaders. I haven't seen it. If it's out there, send it to me. I haven't seen it. The things Trump does and the movements that he's making is dangerous. Let me say it a little bit differently. The comments that Trump makes, the decisions that he's making, and the moves that he's going towards will cost lives. A lot of them. And he knows it. You cannot compare threatening Iran, threatening North Korea, threatening all these people with anybody in the left. Full stop. That's something I'm trying to get folks to do. When Trump lies, he's a liar. When he says something not true, it's lies. Okay? Start calling a spade, a hole, a hole. Call it what it is. Stop trying to, I want to use polite language. No! Speak your truth. And then be willing to die upon it. Well, that doesn't benefit anybody but him. That's right. It's sometimes folks try to disrespect you. They know what they're saying. They know what they're saying, and they're not pretending. They're not joking, or they're serious. Some disrespect. It's just that disrespect. And you have to, that's how I think at least. Whatever. So I don't think that's fair. And I don't like that. And I would tell him that to his face. That you can't compare anybody to, because what you call socialism and all that, that's not threatening anybody else overseas. You guys talk about welfare and all that. Look at all the trillions wasted in the Iraq war. It didn't get back to me. Do the math. All these bridges out here crumbling, interstate systems that are all fucked up. But you want to talk about somebody getting food stamps. You can't even get food stamps long term no more. You got to keep going back. Yeah, that's how that works. So fuck that bullshit. And I'm at the point now to where I think that America's a warmongering country. So human rights don't matter in America. They don't, because we're always at war. It's like if I was driving a truck and I only came back to my apartment here once a month or something, then I wouldn't care if certain things didn't work. As long as my bed is still here, as long as whoever I got living with me is still here, I wouldn't care. Wouldn't care. But the fact that I don't know, I believe in a basic living income. I believe that society is becoming a lot more technologically advanced. That's the reality. The most of the country, most of the world is. And that's just real. That's the future, man. That's the future. One reason why Europeans don't have a higher standard of living is they haven't been at war for the last 100 and something years. Well, they haven't been at war for the last 50 years. Just constantly at war. Constantly at war with somebody. You know? Just constantly at war. And Trump is the quintessential American president. I love it because Trump's out and open about his racism. He's out and open about being a bigot. He's out and open about being just a completely reprehensible idiot. Not a monolith. He's an idiot. The fascist. He's just what it is. I'm starting to realize that Trump is not just Trump or some angry rich white man. He's an embodiment of what these rednecks think America always was. Pushing folks around, being arrogant, being nasty, who have done you no wrong. That's them. That's what they are. That's what they've always been. That's what they've always been. And that's real. That's real, folks. I wish it wasn't that simple. I wish I could, go a little further with it, but that's real. You're dealing with some hateful people out here who see Trump as an opportunity to return to a time of... See, white folks really support Trump. I realize more and more they're fighting for the right to be racist. We're fighting for gay liberation. We're fighting to end these foreign wars. We're fighting for Confederate statues to come down. We're fighting for laws to prohibit people who go to political rallies for the intent to disturb, to have masks and to carry guns. We're fighting for things that I think most people can at least understand. I didn't say agree. Like these conservatives, I can understand, and in some part I can agree, some parts I can't. With these Trump supporters, I can't even understand the way they think. It's not even rational. Like nobody else in the world wants what they're talking about. Nobody. It's like suicidal almost. Some things they want or they approve of. It's insanity. Some of it. It really is. I have no better way to describe it than that. Than insanity. But anyway, one of those kind of things, man. I just wanted to say that I respect the conservatives out there. They get it. Because see, really, Trump, he destroyed the Republican Party. Trump, by his actions and his deeds, put the Republican Party really off by itself. All these young people, the country is not becoming more white, becoming more brown. We know this. Culture is changing, and Trump signifies a return to things, but really it's a return to like the slave owner type stuff. Because if you go back, I used to read about this stuff. You go back, like they were worried about the New World Order back then, but the New World Order wasn't about Illuminati or anything like that. New World Order was about them losing control. See, white supremacy is not being white. White supremacy is about maintaining control and dominance over your community, financially being independent, and being able to dictate the way society is going to go. That's white supremacy. That's the basis. That's the basic stuff. We can go on and on about it, but it's not about race. It's really not. It's really not. Anyway, peace out.